What's going on, team JLU-NBCM? Welcome to my place.
Just call my name.
Always there for you, always there for you, always there for you, always there for you. Siempre estoy aquí, siempre estoy aquí, siempre estoy aquí, siempre
Alright guys, so before I start talking about my very own apartment, it's important to remind you and highlight the fact that there are many different types available across the city. They come in various shapes, sizes, depending on your budget, so it's not a difficult thing to understand, pretty much the same anywhere. ChangChun is no different. One of the main reasons why I decided to pick this spot was simply because it's right in the middle of the university hospital, the city center, and the university campus as well. I personally like to lead a life that's not solely bound to the university setting, and for that reason it was perfect. It's also, what about if we take a look at where and what actually my apartment looks like. Let's start with the living room. As you can see, it's a high ceiling one, so I quite like it, and I've decided to make some changes to it when I moved in. Other than the sofa and the tables, nothing really was here. So everything else that you see right now, I decided to somehow, over the years, just add to the apartment. Some of the things may look cool and may look expensive, but I can guarantee you that I'm not a millionaire. I either got a good deal or I went with a Chinese make, which is considerably less expensive. And once you come here, or if you're already here, you would probably know about this. But those of you who are planning on coming here, you will see that these can be extremely affordable. So I personally wanted to create a home. I knew that I would be here for a long time, and I don't like to move around. I like to keep it simple, pay my rent once, maximum twice a year. So it's either 12 months ahead or 6 months ahead, there you go. And that's it, not having to worry about this. And so I can have that set period of time to not to worry about my accommodation. I can just chill, have my friends over, and so on and so on. Now this brings up another question. My neighbors, they are super cool, despite the fact that they have super small children. They've never been an issue. In fact, when my friends are over, sometimes they even come and give us a bottle of wine or just say hello, which is really cool. It's not something that you may have, but you could definitely do, and it's something that you should take into account. Another thing that you should consider is your relationship with your landlord. You will hear about horror stories. I personally have been extremely lucky not having any issues with my landlord, so there was yet another reason why I knew that I would definitely not want to move away from this place. And of course, the most important thing is the place itself. I thought it looked awesome. It gave me everything that I needed, extremely well connected, extremely well set up, and it gave me enough space for all my wanted, in a way, or desired stuff to fit in. So I wanted to create something more of a garden-like feeling, more about colors. Despite the fact that this place in general is quite green, I wanted to have something different inside. But really, I tried to design this in a way or bring in elements which would aid towards the overall comfort of this place. So as you can see, I've got everything that I need in this living room, and normally I just like to bring some people here and chill because of the available space that we have before heading out to the city. As you can see, the kitchen is fully set up. Now, some of the apartments may come with microwaves or tiny little ovens. You may even have a kettle. My place didn't, and so I decided to again bring in certain elements just to make the overall place better and more livable in a way. So this is the downstairs area. I've got this relatively spacious kitchen and a very good sized living room with a gigantic window facing the southern side of the city with plenty of sunlight. As we're heading upstairs, you might be familiar with this area. Those of you who have watched some of our previous vlogs, especially mine, you might recognize my desk with the never-changing whiteboard behind. It's because it got dried and I've never really bothered cleaning it, so it's just there, but it still looks cool. In fact, instead I just bought another one. But anyway, as you can see, there's enough space for your clothes to hang and a spacious table. It's something that I like to have around. I'm not the type of person who likes to study at home. I become way too comfortable, but obviously at times it comes in handy just to have your books around and get some work done. From this area opens the bathroom. Now, I don't know how about you, and obviously we all have different little bugs and so on and so on. I hate places which have dirty bathrooms in general. It's something you better get used to because ChangChun's public toilets and so on are absolutely whack. So it was very important for me to find a place with a decent bathroom environment, and as you can see, it's pretty good in my opinion. In fact, I'm very happy with that. Mind you, the sliding doors inside are something that I had to fit in because it was a massive open area, something I didn't quite like. As I said, I like to be a bit particular about my living space, so I decided to spend at the time 800 yuan on these doors, and I made a deal with my landlord whereby she would buy these doors at the end of my lease for half the price. So it's a good point. Actually, sometimes when you make some improvements to the apartment, you can try and negotiate. Most of my friends try to do the same deal with an air conditioning, for example. Now, leaving the bathroom, going into the bedroom, it's again not a very big one. I quite like how it's tucked away in the corner. It's just about enough for my bed and hanging wardrobe, with a window that's, as I was saying earlier, facing the northern side with quite a nice view. And actually it's this window from which I can see the sunset, so that's kind of cool. But again, as I was saying, I'm not very keen, but the fact that it's there just makes everything a whole lot better. As I was saying, it's on the 16th floor, which means it's quite a ride. Luckily, all these buildings come with elevators. However, at times there are power cuts. It's something that you should keep in mind. If you happen to move into a building block which only has 6 to 7 floors, by law, they are not obliged to supply that building with elevators. So if you're a sporty type and you're cool with that, go for it. But if you have difficulties moving around, or if you feel like that after a big night out, you would probably not fancy a climb, it's something that you should definitely keep in mind. What about costs in general? How much do I actually pay for this apartment? It's 2,400 yuan per month, which makes it slightly more expensive than most of the apartments in the city. And the way it normally works is that should you want to move into an apartment, you would most probably have to pay a month's deposit. If you are doing this through an agency, those agents will take 50% of a month's rent. In my case, I was renting it directly from the landlord. I didn't have to do that, still took a month's deposit. And then after that, she agreed to anything from 3 to 6 to 12 months upfront payment. It's something that you will have to sort out with your landlord. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and you have a better idea at the end of it how well, in a way, you might be able to live and what type of options you have both at the university and in the city. If you have any questions, as always, please send them to us. Perhaps you might want to comment below and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one and we will see you in one of our next videos.